Hello, everybody. I know it's been a while. I did want to check in. I am very busy, so I just wanted to jump on and give you an update into my law school journey. So I am now a 2L. I'm finished with all of my core classes, the lower level required classes, and now starting to move into of course courses that I can choose as opposed to ones that are required. But I wanted to talk to you guys about kind of what's been going on and also just my insights as a mom, a wife, and a full-time employee. So first and foremost, my grades have been steadily improving since that first semester. But I gotta tell you, first semester grades or even the first year grades are everything. And if you mess up like I did the very first semester, if you saw my other videos, I told you my very first semester I was like a solid C student. I haven't gotten a C since, but because those classes were high in credit value, it's really hard to come back from that. So I'm still trying to recover. I've gotten A's and B's since, but it just haunts me still. Like, so my GPA is not where it should be. It's just very difficult to get it back up. But I have 2 more years to go, so hopefully I can make some improvements. But that first year, I just really want to say and stress to you, that's where a lot of decisions are made about students. After that first year, they start looking closer. They, meaning the law school, start looking closer to put people on structured curriculums and probation, or recommend that they, come back, or they just really try to cut anybody who's not performing well. And I know this because of some of my other peers had not performed well even after the first semester, and been asked to take time off and things like that. So it's just very, very important first year. So another thing I want to talk to you about is mental health. So a few weeks ago, I was having really bad chest pains and really bad like shortness of breath, and I thought I was gonna die. I thought it was like there was like pressure coming down on my chest, and I'd never felt that before in all of my adult life. I'd never had anxiety attacks or anything like that. It was just this immense pressure, and I thought I was dying. It had went on for a month, or for like a week. And so I finally just went to the emergency room and got all these tests done. They test my heart, they test my lungs, they drew my blood, and there was nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. All the tests came back fine, which leads me to believe that it was stress. Okay? So take care of your mental health. I cannot stress it enough, especially if you are a non-traditional student, especially if you have a family with young children, if you're working. And this is something I mentioned before, and I really didn't listen to my own advice. You can't do it all. You can't do the most. So I'm also a law clerk. I took on a part-time position. Even though it's minimal hours, I do no more, maybe 5 or 10 hours per week. That might have been a mistake, because it was just one more thing that I had on my plate. And sometimes when you're used to being a hard worker, or you're used to getting it done, or you're used to surviving and persevering, you just think that you could just keep going on and you're going to be okay, and keep piling on, keep gilding the lily, so to speak. And you can't. Your body is going to tell you to stop. If you don't sit down, God's going to make you sit down. Okay, so I had to really sit down and say, what is happening here? It was a culmination of the holidays, a big birthday for me coming up, and then a lot of like exams, and then straight into another semester. Because in law school, you start reading way before the class even starts. They start giving you the material. So by the first day, you've already read, 100 pages or something like that. So and all this was happening when there was snow days and the kids were out and everybody was here with me, and it was just too much. It was just too much, and I had neglected my mental health, which I normally take care of. So I am a big supporter of meditation. I have a therapist now, which, not to say that I didn't have one before law school. I'd had therapy before law school, but I wasn't in therapy. But I'm such a supporter of mental health, because you have to take care of yourself. And when it's time to get in here and you're doing all this studying and the professors are cold calling, and then you get in, you take that one final exam that really is going to give you the grade for the entire semester. There is no other chance. You sit down and you take the exam. It is overwhelming. You're sitting back, you're waiting for sometimes weeks, sometimes a month to even get your grades back. And it just became too much. It just became too much. So please take care of yourself and know that mental health is important. It's not just a cliche. It's not just a fad. And I think you need it even if you're not in law school. And another thing I want to say, I've started to meet others and alumni from my school and people who are, panelists that come talk to us. I want to say, non-traditional students, sometimes the outlook for a career looks bleak when you see that, they're only hiring, these fresh young whippersnappers. But don't be discouraged. We have value. You have a prior career with a lot of experience that you're bringing to the table, especially if that experience is directly relates to what the law firm litigates or what the job is. Like if you're an engineer, a structural engineer, you may be a good person for contracts or, real estate or something like that. If, I have a few doctors in my class. They can do medical malpractice and learn probably faster than somebody who's straight out of law school who doesn't have any kind of work experience at all. All right. So I have a background in financial services. I could, probably regulate, SEC violations or something like that. And I don't want to do that. I'm just giving you an example. But my point is do not get discouraged as a non-traditional student. Employers, they want to hire somebody who knows business etiquette, who knows how to conduct an email in a professional manner, who has something to the table. Now, you're not going to come in making more than that. I know sometimes I have some of my peers, they hesitate because they're like, I already make a good salary. I don't want to start all over. I don't want to start at the bottom rung. Well, it's been cleared up. You have to. You're not going to really start at, the same salary that you thought you were already making. But you may progress faster than the average Joe, not average Joe, than a traditional student. You may be more enticing to employers because you have a solid background in patents or something like that. So do not sell yourself short if you are thinking about going into a new career of law school as an older person or a person with a family or a person that already has a career. There are options out there, and I just want to put some encouragement out there, because I know what it's like to get online and look and see absolutely nothing that relates to you or your situation, and that's partly why I do this video, right? So I just wanted to give you a check-in, and I do these videos. I don't do any special effects or about any kind of mistakes but I just I want to keep it authentic with you guys, and I want to keep it real, and I want to encourage you, because I do believe we need to have we need to have people in the profession that have a different perspective, such as mine, right? So hit me if you have questions. Leave me a comment or not. Just watch the video if you need it. But I'll probably be back again. I'll be honest, it's going to be summer 2022 when I post something again, because I'd like to make sure that my posts are substantive that they say something important. I'm just not leaving a video just to leave it. And each time I wait that chunk of time, I grow and learn and, have gone through some trauma or something. And it's, I think, much more valuable to wait. So with that said, I'll stop rambling and until next time.